Welcome everybody to our gentle stretch yoga class, and today we're concentrating on the planks today. So when this is the week of balances, learning the foundations of balance. Obviously plank is somewhat of a balance because you're balancing on your feet and your hands, but it's also the pose that's going to prepare you for the balances in terms of strengthening the core, which we really need, and also the leg strength, not just the calves and the shins and the feet and the hands and the arms. So these are all very much important in our some of our balances that we're doing this week. We worked yesterday on the the tree pose, and today we will be doing the plank, and tomorrow we're doing the dancer, and then the crow on the fourth day. Okay. To start, I wanted to just say a few. I get an affirmation sent to me every day from actually one of my students, and this I'm going to just take a portion of this, but it says, I'm reading you from just half of what she had sent me. You are your biggest commitment. So start loving your flaws, your awkwardness, your weirdness, your intensity, and your vulnerability. Life becomes more fulfilling when you are just simply yourself. So with that, just simply yourself, which means the mantra today is I am myself. That everything that comes with being yourself. And that is not perfection, that is not all the things that the world wants to see or expects to see of you, or you think people should be seeing. It's you in its entirety, which is not easy to do. So today, the plank pose. I'm going to take you through a sequence of very interesting postures to get us prepared for the plank. We're going to actually start on our backs. Just make sure that you have space. We're starting in our Shavasana. So make sure that you have space when you put your arms behind you on your back, that you're not you have space to do so. So coming onto your backs. If perchance you want to add a little extra, you can always, if you happen to own a block, you don't have to do this. I'm not going to use it, but I will demonstrate, because we're going to imagine we have a block, but if you have an actual block, it will just intensify it, okay? So just have it near you if you happen to have one, but it's not necessary. No props are necessary today. What I want you to do is lie on your back, let your arms rest next to your sides, palms up. You're in your Shavasana. And let's simply start with our Ujjayi breath. Breathing into the rib cage. So those who might not know, what is Ujjayi? It means victorious breath in Sanskrit. And it's basically you're bringing the breath into the rib cage. In through the nose, you're creating this ocean-like sound as you breathe as you open up the glottis, so the bottom of your throat. And as you exhale, you the same sound as you exhale. It's not easy to do if you're not used to it. So just do your best, not a big deal. You don't have to, nothing's perfect, it needs to be perfect. Just simply breathe into that rib cage. Just be yourself, right? I am myself. And then let's bring the legs together, and then let the arms just drape next to your sides if they're not already. And I want you to flex the feet as if we're mimicking the plank throughout this practice. I want you to lift just your right leg off the ground a few inches, nothing too high. Your arms are just resting, and I want you to Feel that lengthening through that right leg. Wake up those legs and wake up those tummies but don't hold the breath here. As you breathe in, let the lower back's go to arch a little bit. As you exhale, press the lower back into the ground. And then place that right foot back down and then just lift your left leg up. Kick through the heel as if you're standing on the ground. Wake up those legs. And then lower that left foot down. Keep your legs as they are. Now just reach your arms up. This is the imaginary block in your hands, or the actual block if you want to intensify it. So I'll show you what it looks like with the block, yeah? If not, I'm going to do it without, because not everybody owns blocks. Imagine you have a block between your hands. What you're going to do here is concentrate on the upper back, leave everything alone, in the tummy or the lower back. Concentrate on just lifting your arms up as if you're giving your block to the ceiling, and take the heads of your shoulders, take them off the ground, and then as you exhale, press the heads of the shoulders back into the ground. Inhale, lift, concentrating on the thoracic spine, so the upper part of the spine, or the middle part of the spine really, and then lower the shoulders down. Inhale, lift. Looking up with a slight chin tucked, inhaling, working these shoulder muscles, pressing into that block or imaginary block. One more breath in. This is how we're going to feel when we're doing our planks. Now bring your arms back behind you. Make sure you have space. Draw your rib cage in towards, so knit it in towards each other. So you're not lifting the rib cage up. Press into the lower back. Take a few breaths here. Squeeze that imaginary block. Every time you inhale, there's a slight arching of the lower back now. And every time you exhale, press the lower back into the ground. Keep your rib cage knitted in towards each other, pressing towards the ground. So stabilizing that thoracic spine. Okay, I'm trying to imagine my hands squeezing. If I had a block, I would do it, but I'm going to pretend, okay? So now what you're going to do is lift just your right leg off the ground until it's about 90 degrees. Some of us don't have that flexibility in their legs, so it doesn't have to be 90 degrees. But if it is, just lift it up and kick through that right heel, and then lift your left foot up about an inch or two. Take a breath in, so you're in imaginary, the shape of a plank. Soften the shoulders down, squeeze your imaginary block. Breathe in, waking up your tummy muscles. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lower your left foot down, lower your right leg down. Whoo! Take just a breather, just let everything go, just for a second. And then inhaling, re-engage, squeezing that imaginary block. Pull the rib cage down. And then take an inhale and exhale. Pick your left leg all the way up as high as you can. Once it gets to just the height that's perfect for you, kick through that left heel. Squeeze that imaginary block and lift your right foot off the ground a few inches. Breathe in and breathe out. And then take an inhale and exhale, lower that right foot down, and then lower that left leg down, and then hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. And then roll yourself all the way up, coming onto your hands and knees. And now we're going to do some more work. I want you to imagine the plank. So if you find your wrists are starting to get too much, they're starting to hurt, you can come onto your forearms. But we're going to be doing the planks, this preparation for the plank with our straight arms. Okay? But don't hesitate to come down if your wrists are beginning to hurt. Spread the fingers, you're in a tabletop. Wrists are under shoulders, knees are under hips. Really important that they're in this position. We're going to go through a few little cats and cows, stretching out that spine. So inhaling, arching into your cow stretch, tilting your tailbone up. Exaggerate the movement a little bit more than you might normally. And then exhale, cat stretch, round. And then inhaling, opening up your heart. And then exhaling, rounding, feeling that wonderful stretch in the middle back. Do this 3 more times at your own pace. So 3 more sets. Some of us are slower, some of us are faster, it doesn't matter. And then let's all meet into our neutral spine. So our neutral spine is where the tummy is slightly pulled in, just a little bit. But you're not arching or rounding your spine. Now take your right foot, just slide it back, keep the toes on the ground. You're on a half of a plank. You're in a half of a tabletop. So this is where you stay. Now from here, press your right heel back and think about being in a plank and engage the back of that right leg. I can already feel my arms working. Take a breath in and out, and then just bring your right knee back in next to your left and slide your left leg back. So slide it back, keep the toes curled under into that half of a plank. Press the heels back. Engage your bottom cheeks, looking towards the front of the mat. And then slide your left knee back next to your right, back into your tabletop. If you need to take a moment and do some wrist circles, feel free to do that. And then extend your right leg back again. This time, reach your left arm forward, so the opposite arm to the opposite leg. Stretch through that left arm, take the palm of that right hand, spin it so that it's facing the right side of the mat. And then place your left hand down, slide your right knee back next to your left, and do the other side. Left leg back, slide it. Kick the heels, make sure once the arms move, place them back underneath your shoulders, reach your right arm forward. So even if you can't do plank, this is preparation for plank. So these are the wonderful things you can do to just get yourself strong enough to go into planks. And then bring your right arm back. Let's sit back for just a moment, or come up, depending on if you can sit on your heels. Let's just circle the wrists, shake them out. And then come back into your tabletop. Now, I want you to take your right leg back, slide it back, and lift it up this time. So it's just the height of your hips. Your hips. Reach your left arm forward, and then take your left hand down, right knee down, and then we're going to do the other side. Sweep back and lift that left leg up, right arm forward. That's an inhale, and then exhale. Place the knee and the hand down. Inhale. We're going to do a few of these. Inhale, lift leg and arm, opposite arm and opposite leg. Exhale, place down. Sweep back, lift the leg up, the arm up. So go alternate between the two. I want you to do 3 more sets of these. Inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, placing down. Inhale, lengthening, lots of core work here, down. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, down. One more side. Let's finish on our left side, left leg, right arm, and then place that knee down. Just take a child's pose, stretching out that middle back. Let's stay here for just 2 breaths. Forehead resting on the ground. And then inhale back into your tabletop. We keep coming back to the tabletop. So from here, you're going to either go into a downward dog, or if that's way too much, you just reach your arms forward and curl the toes under if you can, and that's your extended child's pose. Otherwise, downward dogs. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, downward dog. Bend your right knee and lengthen through that left leg. So stretch out through that left leg. With this practice, you're going to feel extra tall today. And then bend your left knee. You'll notice how we're toning pretty much every muscle, almost every muscle in our bodies. So press through that right heel, lengthen the back of the leg, that back of that right leg, and then come back into your both legs straight, and then bend them pretty dramatically. You can do this on your hands and knees if you need to, with an extended child's pose. What we're doing in this one, we're doing cats and cows, believe it or not, in this position. Or you do your regular cat and cow on your hands and knees, okay? Otherwise, this is a downward dog, cat and cow. Inhaling, opening up your heart, looking maybe just before your thumbs, and exhaling, rounding through the spine. And then inhaling, lifting and opening, waking up those tummy muscles, back muscles. Quite intense. You will not get the same cat and cow curves and as you would when you're on all fours. You can't quite get the back in the same shape, but you're doing a little bit of it. And then let's come back to stillness, straighten the legs, and let's all find our way to the front of our mats. Let ourselves hang down, no tension in the neck. Whew. Let the arms just relax here. Maybe take the opposite hand to the opposite elbow. Release some of the tension. Let's stay here just for a few breaths. And then from here, if you're cradling your elbows, release your hands. Bring your fingertips forward in front of you. Some of us might need blocks because we can't quite get to the ground. I want everyone to bend their knees either slightly or quite dramatically. And we're going to do cats and cows here in this pose. So this is the halfway, called halfway in yoga, because you're halfway between downward dog and Tadasana, the mountain pose. And you're going to round the spine into your cat, and you're going to inhale, arch your lower back, lift your heart, exhaling, rounding. If you are quite flexible, you can straighten the legs. I don't know if I can do this with I can actually do some of it, yeah. But I'll keep my knees bent. So cats and cows, hollow out the belly. And then we're going to come back to a neutral spine, and you're going to slowly roll yourself up, ragdoll roll, all the way up to mountain pose. Come up and reach your arms up to the sky. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a pause. Feet are hip distance apart or together, whatever feels best for you. Take one deep breath here, relaxing the shoulders. Tailbone lengthening down, shoulders relaxed. You might find tension building up around your neck. Just let it go. You might have to take your head and sway it a little bit. And then gently open your eyes. We're going to do a few just half sun salutations. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling halfway, so it might be fingertips on your shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's stay down here. Let's inhale halfway. So the halfway point is where you lift up into a little table. If you have back issues, the knees are bent. Now take the fingertips on the ground, step your right foot back, Left foot forward, you're in a high lunge. Now some of us might find high lunges too much, so you can always place that knee down. But we're mimicking a half a plank again. Right leg is the plank, left knee is the lunge. So this is how the shape of the plank looks like if you had both legs back. That would be the plank. So hands are on the ground. If you want, there's another level. If you want to try a little bit more, take the hands on your lower back. Then you might find you can do this. Make sure your left knee is directly over your left ankle, not beyond it. And then the more challenging one is where you reach your arms forward. Press that, kick that right heel back whether your arms are forward or not. It's intense, I know, but you don't have to do this one. You could keep your fingers on the ground. You can even place your lower knee to the ground. Take your hands on the ground and step back either downward dog or into that extended child's. Then inhale into your actual plank. Knees down or up. So this is a plank day. Not every day is a plank day, but we're doing planks today. So if you're doing a plank and you need to lower down, then do that. If not, keep your knees up and think about how the shoulders, slide them down your back. Take your inner edges of your elbows, point them forward, and then hinge forward, knees down or up, lower down onto your tummy. Slide your hands a little further forward. Take a breath in, and we're doing a baby cobra. Lift up just slightly off the ground. Keep the elbows bent and squeezing into your waist. Take an inhale and exhale, lower your head down. Then take an inhale and lift back up. Just tiny, tiny, these are baby cobras, nothing too major. And then come all the way down, forehead kisses the ground. Slide the hands next to the chest, sit back into your child's pose, extended child's pose for one breath. Inhaling. And exhale. Inhaling into your tabletop. Either stay in the tabletop or exhale, downward dog. Bring your left foot in towards your right foot. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. Step your right foot between your hands. Lunge on this side. Same thing as we did before. Decide. Back leg is your half the plank. Right leg is the lunge. So if you're a plank person that needs to drop the knee down, then do so. Hand is either on the ground, blocks. Stay here. Some of us will stay here. Kick your left heel back. Now, second level, for those who want to go a step further, bring your hands on your lower back. Make sure the crown of the head reaches forward. Intense, intense. And I'm feeling this, I'm feeling this. Those who want to go one step further, reach your arms forward. I know I call this gentle stretch, but gentle meaning you could still challenge yourself. You can still build strength in this body. Place the hands down. This time step your left foot forward. You're now at the front of your mat, and let yourself sink into your forward bend. Whew. So I am myself. You're wondering, well, what is myself? Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, let's sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Let's lift up, hands to heart. Let's do another lift. Let's do a half sun salutation. Reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling that halfway. Lift up halfway. Exhaling, forward fold. And then stepping back into your downward dogs or that extended child's pose. And we're going to actually lower the knees down. Come onto your forearms. Give our wrists a little bit of a break. Interlace them, elbows under shoulders. Extend your right leg back and left leg back, legs together. So some of us might just lower the knees down. You might even decide you want to do just lower everything down and just take more of a cobra stretch. Otherwise, if you want to do the actual forearm plank, lift everything off the ground, or just the knees tap the ground. Heels back, squeeze your bottom, squeeze your legs. Lower your shoulders down. So this is a forearm. So this is a better way, more intense. But if your wrists are starting to give you some jip, then this is a nice way of doing your plank. Looking slightly forward of your hands, pulling the belly in, lowering the shoulders down. One more time, one more. You can hold it, you can do it. You can do it. And then lower the knees to the ground. Sit back into your child's pose. Feels nice it feels good to do this type of work, this strength work. Come onto your right hip. Take your feet forward, slide your bottom to your heels. From here, I want you to lower yourself down slowly, all the way down onto the ground, and then hug your knees into your chest once you're there. Knowing that this is the end of your practice, almost, other than Shavasana. Open the arms out to the sides, let your knees drop to the left, and turn your gaze to the right. Lots of upper back strengtheners today. But we've also been, if you're thinking of stretch, what am I stretching? You're stretching out the backs of your legs. Your hamstrings, your glutes are on fire. Strengthening and stretching at the same time. Bring your knees back up, give yourself a hug, maybe bring your forehead to your knees. And then place your head on the ground, drop your knees to the right. Turn your gaze to the left. And then pick your knees back up. One last hug. Hug, 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 hug. And then release. Take your left foot to the left corner of the mat, right to the right. And you know, Shavasana is here. Well deserved. Slide your shoulders down, chin slightly tucked. Let your body melt into the mat. No more tension or tightness or contracting of the muscles needed at this point. Let it all go, including the face. For the next 2 to 5 minutes, stay here as I come up to seal the practice. When you are ready to come out after 2 to 5 minutes, just come up into a cross-legged for a moment and ease yourself into the day, into whatever's left of the day, whenever you're doing this class. This is a class that invigorates, energizes, lengthens muscles, powers you up, gives you that oomph. Often we don't have that. We feel like we're dragging ourselves. So planks are so helpful in that way. But any ability and age can do planks, but you have modifications for it. They sound like they're meant for young people, but they're actually for all ages and abilities. So as I bring my hands in front of my heart to seal the practice for today, looking forward to tomorrow, the next class where we will be concentrating on our dancer pose, which is a standing posture and it's a back bend. So we're working in the opposite of what we've been doing today. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Namaste. I'll see you soon. Thank you for joining me for this class. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want more of these, subscribe, ring the bell, please comment. And if you would like to try my live daily online yoga classes, you can find the details at yogawithrebeccajane.com. See you soon.